was finally burned out, 22 blocks had been destroyed.
This event was known as the Great Fire. It changed a lot of things about Portland. More buildings downtown are made from bricks and they weren't put as close together anymore.
Unlike many other western towns, the people in Portland helped each other.
They helped rebuild the town. They took care for each other.
They looked out for each other, and that's something Portlanders have always done.
Do you hear that?
Hear what?
I think the train's coming.
They're building the track right now.
Portland in 1883, and the Union Station was completed in 1896. Now people could travel across the entire country from New York to Portland in just 12 days instead of months. The railroad brought people and goods to Portland. The town grew over 98,000 by the year 1900. Buildings began to spring up everywhere. Bridges like the old Morrison and Hawthorne bridges were built. Houses sprung up on the east side. A trolley system was built downtown so that people could travel downtown. And because boats had to go up and down the river all of the time, all the bridges were drawbridges. The people liked to watch the bridges go up and down.
officially the City of Roses, and one of our great festivals each year in June is the Rose Festival.
There are 3 parades with horses, floats, and of course marching bands.
The Rose Festival started in 1907 as a celebration of a flower that was very well in Portland. In 2007, we celebrated the 100th birthday for the Rose Festival.
Our international Rose Test Garden in Washington Park is known around the world.
Here was a beautiful song about roses that was sung at the first Rose Festival in 1907.
No beautiful palace have I on the hill, no pictures to hang on my wall, but never a painter to match with the skills, the roses that bloom in my hall. Then sing me a song of the rose, a song that is tender and true. She wears her red robes like the daintiest queen, all gleaming with jewelry of dew. Then sing me a song of the rose, a song that is tender and true. She wears her red robes like the daintiest queen, all gleaming with jewels of dew.
Everywhere downtown, theaters were being built. By 1900, there were grand luxury theaters all along Broadway Avenue in Portland.
There were no TVs or radios at this time, so for entertainment, everybody went downtown and saw a show. Are you going downtown today, Julie?
Well, of course, Liza. I'm going to ride the trolley downtown and see that new play at the Orpheum Theater.
But that's the most expensive theater in town. Like, I heard it costs 5 cents just to see the show. I'd rather go and see the symphony at the Markham Theater myself, or one of those funny silent motion pictures at the Liberty. You know there are so many choices.
That's right, there are so many choices. You just wouldn't go downtown without seeing something, now would you?
There are
sister?
Yes.
Do you ever fight with your brother or sister?
Yes.
Well, we have a story to tell you about a very famous fight between a brother and sister in the early 1900s. The brother's name was Harvey Scott. The sister was Abigail Scott, who later married a Dunaway, so her full name was Abigail Scott Dunaway. What were they fighting about? They were fighting about women's right to vote, or what was called women's suffrage. In 1852, the Scott family left Illinois by covered wagon and arrived in Oregon 6 months later. Harvey Scott was 14 and his sister Abigail was 19. Harvey Scott became a lawyer and then the editor of Henry Pickett's newspaper, The Oregonian, a position he held for nearly 50 years. Harvey published his opinions in the paper, and a lot of people believed what he said. Harvey disliked anything that suggested social progress. For example, he opposed public education beyond elementary school.
If they want their children to go to school beyond the age of 12, let them pay. Public schools should not be turned into nurseries of idleness.
Abigail became a teacher, owned a hat-making business, and published her own newspaper called the New Northwest. She was Harvey's opposite in that she was a supporter of human rights, especially women's rights.
We need to build a better world for every woman. Women work at the kitchen sink without wages. Women work at the cooking stove, rolling pin, wash tub, and ironing board, always without pay. They should at least get the right to vote.
We do not want belligerent females, sitting hens, cluck, 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 deciding our fate. Ignorant voters will be dangerous.
I've always heard that the difference between a man and a mule was that a man can change his mind. We're the only state in the West where women still cannot vote. It's high time the men of this state give us this right.
But Harvey was as stubborn as a mule. Every time an election was held, he wrote article after article telling the men not to let the women have the right to vote.
If they want their children to go to school, no. Women should have the right to vote over my dead body.
Then Harvey, my dear brother, I guess I'm just going to have to live longer than you.
And she did.
And she did. Abigail Scott Dunaway worked for 40 years to win the right for women to vote. In 1912, 2 years after Harvey died, the Women's Suffrage Act passed in Oregon. We think she would have liked this next song.
What do you fear? Hey, is this any better? Just because a woman wants the right to vote. Yes, we want our rights. Yes, we'll give up our rights. Do we strike a bad note? Think you better let us have the right to vote. Smart. Hey, mister, think I'm all heart. Well, mister, I've got some news. Just because I want to vote my political views. Yes, we want our rights. Yes, we'll give up our rights. Do we strike a bad note? Think you better let us have the right to vote. I don't care. Hey, mister, think of nice hair. Well, mister, you've missed the boat. Think you better let us have the right to vote. Yes, we want our rights. Yes, we'll give up our rights. Do we strike a bad note? Think you better let us have the right to vote. 2, 1, 2. that we're fools. Hey, mister, we know the rules. Well, mister, 'tis what we think. Just because you made the rules, they really stink.
Yes, we want our rights. Yes, we'll give up our fights. Do we share the flag? No, think you better let's have the right to vote. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. If you better let us have the right to vote. Yeah!
The year was 1918. World War I had just ended. Soldiers returned home. Then came the Great Flu.
First, lots of fake sneezes would be. Oh, wait, sorry. Thousands of Portlanders got very sick. Concerts and shows were canceled. Many public buildings were turned into hospitals.
Medicine was not very good in these days. Many people died. The flu was very serious.
But everybody helped each other just like they did after the Great Fire, and by the early 1920s, the flu was over and business was good, really good.
Theaters reopened. More and more were built. People went down to see movies. Then there was radio.
In the news today,
The radio brought news.
in the news today, President Coolidge dedicated a statue in Washington, D.C.
Forecast the weather.
Rain today, mixed with showers.